we work with district implementation teams as they are trying to install and successfully use an integrated behavior and reading multi-tiered system of support framework. And what we find is that we ask executive leaders from a district to be able to carefully recruit and select individuals to participate on a district implementation team. And we ask that at least one of those individuals coordinate that district implementation team, and that there be another individual who has executive leadership authority to oversee the work of the district implementation team. So these individuals are selected, carefully selected, and participate in professional learning. There's a series of professional learning sessions. So they receive the training, and staff within our Technical Assistance Center are specifically hired to provide the professional learning and the coaching supports to the district implementation team and its membership, like the individual who's serving in the coordinator role or the executive leader role. So these people have been selected, they've received professional learning, and they are getting coaching. So when we think about the application of the implementation drivers, that's an example of the competency portion of the drivers. And as the work of the district implementation team unfolds, meaning they're developing the processes and the products that are necessary for a district implementation infrastructure, albeit in this case, applied to an integrated reading and behavior MTSS framework. So they engage in the work now. They're developing the processes, they're developing the products. And what we typically find is that there are some particular challenges or some concrete data that is suggesting that what has been developed isn't necessarily usable and isn't necessarily fitting the context of the district setting. And so what we find is that the data component of this work, so the data that was used to lift the issue that, gosh, our review, selection, and deselection process isn't really meeting the context of our district. It's too challenging. It's unrealistic. We're likely not to implement. Some of the data that went into informing that observation, if you will, or coming to that conclusion, resulted in leadership and others on the district implementation team to be able to say, we need to circle back around and convene our district implementation team, open back up some of those processes and procedures where the data are clearly suggesting they're not hitting the mark. It's not really doing what we intended to do. And we're going to have to get some additional reteaching with some key components, but we're going to have to access supports from our coach. So what I just gave you right there was an example of the competency drivers and the organizational drivers coming into play.